In the middle of the Christian story is a pagan figure, Pontius Pilate. Christians stand together to say what we believe, and there he is in our confession. Jesus suffered under Pontius Pilate. In the Bible, he is the one who ultimately sentences Jesus to crucifixion. What survives of historical records tell us Pilate was both a bully and afraid. It seems saving his soul was far less important to him than saving his political hide. There was no time to think about eternity. The day had enough trouble of its own. But then he meets Jesus. Jesus speaks of a kingdom not of this world. Jesus shrugs off Pilate's authority, suggesting Pilate really isn't in control at all. And then Pilate's wife tells him he should release this man Jesus just because of a dream she had. He doesn't want anything to do with Jesus, yet in the end he must. You can almost hear the helplessness and desperation as this man who wrapped himself in worldly trappings is now ensnared in otherworldly surprise. He asks, wonders, pleads, what shall I do with Jesus? All he can do is try to protect himself. He'll sacrifice Jesus for that. They're all haunting episodes as Pilate asks, what is truth? As he washes his hands to make himself look innocent. As he offers one Jesus, Barabbas, for another. As he shrugs his shoulders and says, go make the tomb as secure as you can. Pilate is haunted by a growing sense that there is something he cannot account for, yet he can no longer avoid or dismiss. Pilate is the haunted one, his life feeling the cross pressure of divine presence and supernatural reality. When Jesus is brought before Pilate, it is Pilate who is brought before Jesus. Jesus haunts our secular take on life. Charles Taylor observes that our technological and scientific achievements have judged our sense of mystery and transcendence as unnecessary. It is not that we cannot experience mystery or transcendence. We are not required to anymore. It is optional. You can have it if you want to. You can go to church or hike a mountain or do yoga or a music festival, but it is a hobby or a coping mechanism or an eccentricity. In short, who needs God when you can test and explain everything by numbers or chemicals? You do you. Yet, there is a cross pressure on us all. Our material life is haunted. We carry an unshakable human feeling that something more persists beyond our senses and limited reasoning, and that we need it more than we can even say. We can tell ourselves to ignore it, but we're left with this haunting feeling. We'll experience both the haunting and the cross pressure in each of the episodes in the life of Pilate, the haunted one, before Jesus, the suffering one. We'll bring Jesus before our own haunting and find our own selves brought before Jesus.